Welcome to this Explainer. Today, we're stepping far back through the sands of time to uncover a profound historical event. Honestly, it's one that completely reshaped our entire understanding of power, mortality, and divine wisdom. Just picture this for a second. Imagine the golden hour light heating these massive, towering palaces in a kingdom literally unlike anything the world had ever seen. We're exploring the awe-inspiring story of Prophet Suleiman, peace be upon him. But this isn't just your standard story of a vast empire. It's a deeply spiritual narrative that ends in absolute, stunning silence. It delivers this incredibly powerful lesson about the boundaries of what we can know, the illusion of worldly power, and the ultimate truth of the Creator. Let's dive right into this deeply moving history together. So here's a question for you. Can any human, or even the most incredibly powerful supernatural jinn, truly know the unseen? Take a moment to really sit with that. Throughout history, kings, emperors, mystics, they've all desperately tried to look beyond the veil of the present. It's just a fundamental human desire, right? We want to control what we can't see. But as we're about to learn, this story doesn't answer that question with some long philosophical debate. It answers it with an astonishing historical reality. Chapter 1: An Unprecedented Kingdom. To truly wrap our heads around the sheer impact of this story's conclusion, we first have to establish the staggering scale of Prophet Suleiman's dominion. This was a realm that literally defied the laws of nature. Allah granted him a level of power unlike any other king in history. The winds themselves moved at his command. When he looked up to the skies, the birds weren't just flying around. They formed a vital, highly organized division of his vast army. And perhaps the most mind-blowing part? Supernatural beings, known as the jinn, were under his direct control. They labored tirelessly out there in the scorching desert heat, carving massive stones, building immense palaces, and erecting towering forts. Everyone and everything submitted completely to his rule. But then, the decree of Allah arrived, because at the end of the day, no matter how vast your kingdom is, no matter if the wind and the supernatural literally bowed to your command, mortality is the ultimate equalizer. Right in the middle of all this worldly majesty, the inevitable reality of death came to the prophet. The narrative just shifts in a single instant, from a bustling, incredibly powerful empire to this profound, heavy stillness. Chapter 2: Death and a Strange Scene. Now the turning point of our story happens, but not on a noisy battlefield. It happens in what should have been a quiet moment, creating a deeply mysterious atmosphere right against the backdrop of all that massive construction. Prophet Suleiman passed away, but he didn't fall. His pole departed his body while he was standing perfectly upright, leaning upon his wooden staff. It's such an incredibly cinematic image when you think about it. The mighty king is entirely motionless, lifeless. Yet to anyone looking from a distance, he appears completely alive. He looks like he's just quietly observing his kingdom, held up by absolutely nothing but a simple piece of wood. This brilliant image sets up the immense disconnect that followed. It's this stark contrast between illusion and reality. The mighty jinn, these beings of immense supernatural capability, looked over at his standing figure and fully believed he was alive. They thought his eyes were watching their every move. So driven by awe, fear, and just absolute obedience, they kept up their back-breaking labor, cutting stone and raising walls. But the actual reality? He had passed away long ago. He was completely oblivious to the towering palaces being built around his motionless body. The entire kingdom was functioning on a complete illusion. Chapter 3: Termite and Allah's Command. Right here, the focus of our history beautifully shifts from these massive, powerful beings to the absolute smallest of creatures. Just observe the silent passage of time. First, the death of the prophet occurs, and he remains standing. Days, and perhaps far longer, slowly pass by. The exhausting labor of the jinn continues tirelessly, and nobody notices a single thing. But then comes the unseen command. Allah didn't send a massive earthquake or a rival army to reveal the truth. No. He sent a tiny termite. Slowly, patiently, totally unseen by the massive jinn, that little termite weakened the wood from the inside out. Finally, the illusion shatters. The hollowed-out staff snaps under the weight, and the prophet's body falls to the earth. You really have to consider the profound spiritual irony here. On one side, you have the mighty jinn. They possessed immense physical strength, yet they were trapped in humiliating labor simply because of their total lack of knowledge. And on the other side, a tiny termite, visually weak, incredibly small, yet it was the chosen instrument to patiently execute Allah's command and completely bring down that grand illusion. It is just a brilliant, brilliant reminder that true power rests entirely with the Creator's will. Chapter 4: Knowledge of the Unseen. This is exactly where the historical event crystallizes into its ultimate chronic lesson. When the prophet's body hit the floor of the palace, man, that sound must have echoed like thunder to the jinn. In that fraction of a second, the heavy veil of ignorance was lifted. They suddenly realized they had been toiling in humiliating, backbreaking labor long after his passing. All their incredible supernatural strength meant absolutely nothing, because they were totally blind to the most crucial piece of reality standing right in front of them. Their profound ignorance was completely exposed for everyone to see. And that brings us to a really vital concept: Raib, or the unseen. Basically, it's the knowledge of that which is hidden, unknown, or lies in the future. Now, the Jinn were believed to have these great powers, right? Some even believed they knew the unseen. But their total failure to sense that the very king they were terrified of had been dead for days, that proved beyond any doubt that they did not. Listen, no matter how powerful a creation is, the realm of the unseen is a strict boundary they simply cannot cross. It belongs entirely, 100%, to the Creator. So that brings us to our final, incredibly powerful takeaway. This entire majestic sequence of events is narrated in the Quran for a very specific reason, so that humanity understands that the knowledge of the unseen belongs only to Allah. It's just a profound reminder for all of us to be humble. Whether we're out there commanding kingdoms or just navigating our daily lives, we really must recognize the limits of our perception. We don't hold the script for tomorrow, and you know what? That is exactly as it should be. The unseen is perfectly safe in the hands of the Most Wise. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. I truly hope this story leaves you reflecting on the subtle and profound ways divine wisdom operates in our world. Until next time, keep seeking knowledge and keep reflecting.